Billionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. So, today we're gonna have a little short video. Not crazy, but number one, I think I'm back in action. My last couple of videos I've been having so much issues with, been blowing my shit. I'm not even gonna lie, but you know, we kept it moving. I believe I fixed everything. Everything is back up and running the way it should be and it needs to be. So I figured let me go live early today, because I ain't gonna lie, I need to watch my Eagles play. They play in a little bit, but I'm willing to miss like the first quarter or something. Doesn't matter. But so I want to we're gonna tap in with Fox and go over a few stories, and then tap in with Brian Maxwell, going over that judge. I think it was out of Milwaukee, I believe, who tried to help this illegal immigrant escape ICE. Like she deserves everything she's getting, and this is just a step in the right direction as far as people being held accountable for the bullshit that they're doing. And they're doing a lot of bullshit with this fraud and everything that's going on. But, what's happening to Fox too about Tim Walz, we're actually getting to that first. And Tim Walz and what he's doing in Minnesota and how he's actually trying to blame Trump. You can't make it up. And then we're going to tap in with another story on Fox with The View. Hating on Donald Trump for actually, giving the troops some money, before the holidays. I don't celebrate holidays, but at the end of the day, putting money in people's pockets, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But of course, The View, like many others, are going to hate on Donald Trump. So before we start, man, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy go live. You hear me? You hear me? Well, let's get straight into it.
Federal prosecutors charging 6 more people in that massive Minnesota fraud scheme, alleging that more scammers have exploited Medicaid programs funded by taxpayers. But Democratic Governor Tim Walz is too busy blaming the Trump administration for the scandal and claiming that the buck stops somewhere else.
Would I have wanted to stop this? Would I have gone out? If you think the governor goes out and checks somebody on Medicaid and if they were there, no, but that's somebody in government needed to do that. And if they didn't do that, or if there were loopholes in this, and what we found is these are poorly written and it left openings, and the goal was to get the money out. We'll fix that. But yeah, I'll take accountability for it. But what you're seeing here is you're seeing a weaponization. We'll continue to fix it. They're going to continue to come up with numbers that don't have it there, and it's sensationalized. I don't expect anything different from this administration.
Sensationalized? Well, let's bring in the host of My View, Laura Trump, to see if she agrees. And Laura,
Yo, number one, the amount of fraud. Oh my God. My bad. The amount of fraud that's in Minnesota is like astronomical. And the fact that you would even try to blame Trump for any of it is wild to me. Like, bro, they talking about upwards of like 18 billion, bro. That's not something that you just like sweep. Oh, it's a revenge. No, listen, Donald Trump ran on draining the swamp. He ran on eliminating fraud, waste, and abuse within the government. So this is what you're seeing. This is like his game plan is to literally expose all of this shit. So people can say what they want. At the end of the day, with all the stuff that's being exposed, they want to focus on Epstein. And it doesn't matter what happens with this whole Epstein thing, right? And I know it's a side note, but it doesn't matter what happens. They could drop all the files they want. People aren't going to be satisfied until they see Trump's name in here with some photographs, possibly a video showing him with a little girl or something. And none of them things are going to happen, and this is why they're upset about it. Like, the only thing that I am on the same page with most people that are just moderate people and conservatives is I disagree with the relationship that America has with Israel. That's like the one thing I have in common with everybody, like, Candace and Tucker and all of them, and I like a lot of their other views too, but, that's one thing that I agree with them on. But anyway, that's all topic. But I want to get into that tomorrow. I actually was going to get into it today, but actually I'm going to get into it tomorrow. This content creator named Olivia Swing made a good video on, this whole relationship between Trump and Israel and all the presidents before Trump too. But anyway, let's get back into this video.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to you. This is remarkable that Governor Walz continues to try and basically defend what has been the absolute most preposterous Medicaid scam and fraud, just in the Feeding Our Children Alone program, the biggest fraud case in Minnesota and possibly nationally speaking, the biggest fraud case ever. And yet he calls it Trump administration is sensationalizing this.
Yes, this is something Tim Walz wants to go away, and he wants no one to ever talk about it again, Griff. I don't think that's going to happen. Look, this thing is a monster. We heard about a week or two ago that it was $1 billion that was stolen, and that seemed like a lot. The latest reports are that it is closer to $9 billion of taxpayer money that was defrauded from the American people, from the people of Minnesota.
And he got a piece of it.
That is an absolute monster. And, you look at where this money was going. Obviously, you have this Somali population that was largely involved with it there in Minnesota. A lot of that money went over to Somalia and also aided a terrorist organization, Al-Shabaab. It is so bad. It continues to look like it gets worse and worse every single day. And everything that we learn, it seems like it's just a disaster. But the good news is, as you said, we are seeing prosecutions because we have President Trump in the White House and we have AG Pam Bondi at the Department of Justice. I can tell you they are going to ensure that these people who perpetrated this fraud are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And that's exactly what we should all want to see happen out of this. But look, whenever you have this Medicare and Medicaid.
I actually want to see Tim Walz get locked up. I want to see his facial expression when he gets locked up. He deserves to get locked up, and I hope he does, bro. I hope Ilhan Omar does, too, because these people are definitely in the mix with all of this stuff. When you see them in these, when they was doing, like, promo videos for the Feed Your Children Foundation or whatever it's called, and she's in there acting like she's fucking cooking and shit for children, and the whole time, it's just a play. It's just a play on the people to make it seem like they're doing something positive with the money. But this is what they've been doing. All of them. Republicans, too. Politics is a dirty game, bro, but it's all about robbing us. Because that's all it boils down to, is that these people are just robbing us blind. Every which way you can think of. But yet, everybody still wants to hate Donald Trump. That's the funny part. He's exposing it. He's showing you. He's telling you that the news is fake. It's fake news. He's telling you that, hey, look, they're robbing you. You know what I mean? And he's been saying, look, let's expose it. Let's drain the swamp. And he's doing it. And people still find ways to, like, criticize him, Like, as if he's supposed to be this perfect person or something.
Fraud that was perpetrated. You also have this ability, and the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid are saying, we're also trying to get some of that money back. They're looking to the individuals, the Americans who vouched for these Somali citizens when they came over and said, hey, these are good people. They're saying, wait, you said these were good people. These weren't good people. They stole money from Americans, and now you are on the hook for it. This looks like another one of those things where Democrats broke it. This president and his administration are going to try and fix it, Griff. But, man, it gets worse and worse the more we hear.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I mean...
All right, let's get straight to this next story. Because The View hating on Donald Trump because he want to pay the troops. He want to give the troops a couple bucks, couple dollars. Nothing crazy. But, hey, you can pay a few bills. You can take a vacation. And they don't like it. Let's get into this next one. Think
of this. 1,450,000
military service members will receive a special, we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend. In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776.
That is President Trump showing some generosity to our troops this holiday season, but even this gift cannot stop some of the ladies from The View from spoiling the big moment. Here's Whoopi Goldberg suggesting
that show need to
that
be
Trump is
fucking
bribing
off air, bro.
our military.
The one thing I'll give him credit on is this bonuses to troops. He's giving them basically $1,700.
Let's see if they get the.
Well,
I want to see
it is
them
kind
get
of
it.
money.
Well, what he's doing is he's thinking, if I make sure that the soldiers have what they need, they'll back me in what I want. See?
I'm so intelligent. Yo, Whoopi Goldberg is a fucking clown, bro, and that show sucks. I can't believe people even still watch The View, bro. It's actually out of control. It's no way people still watch that show, bro. It's just a bunch of women who hate men, number one. So I know no men watch it, no real men at that. You know, maybe some gay men or something. I don't know. You know, good luck to them. But they literally hate men. They have said it on air, on the show, how, you know, there's no use for men and all of it. They disrespect men on a daily basis. The men who actually put them in position to be who they are today, who built the platform that they're on, but they disrespect men like it's nothing. And it's just like a whole propaganda thing about that. But on another note, when it comes to news, they literally are the ones who spread the most misinformation. And we know this. Why? How many times have you seen Sonny Holston and even Whoopi say, we got a legal note. We got a legal note. Pete Hegseth has always denied. Like, because they spew a bunch of garbage. And it's not about whether it's true or not with these people. It's all about perception. It's all about whether we can convince the people that this is even half true. That's it. You know, and now you're mad because Donald Trump is doing the things that you wish that your party was doing. That's really what it's all about. Like, why isn't my party doing these things that, you know, are positive? Like, because they're negative and all they want to do is keep robbing us. You know what I mean? We're going to call y'all the robbing party. You know what I mean? Because y'all just all they want to do is rob the people.
Praising Trump for the
Fucking
military
haters.
bonuses. Here's CNN's Van
Straight
Jones.
haters.
One good thing was he's going to give money to soldiers.
Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button
that's
if
a
you're
good
not
thing.
subscribed.
So
Thanks for tapping in.
that's the only thing I
with
could
your
find in there
boy.
that I hadn't heard before. And giving some money to our soldiers is a good thing. Other than that, it was just a gift to Democrats.
Jeremy, this is just wild on Whoopi Goldberg's part. I mean, is this peak Trump derangement syndrome?
Oh, absolutely. But first, let me just say, this warrior dividend that President Trump is giving to our troops, it goes a long way. And as someone who has served, I can tell you a lot of, especially like our privates, our kind of lower enlisted folks, I mean, sometimes they are living paycheck to paycheck. This $1,776, I love that, is going to go a long way. They can pay gifts for their kids maybe they weren't able to afford. Some people maybe weren't able to pay for that ticket to get home, to see their family for Christmas. So now they're able to afford those things. I mean, so it's so much bigger than just, just the money. I mean, it really has a huge effect. And it shows that President Trump, once again, he cares and he loves our troops. And
this, and my bad for cutting it, but this is my thing. What if Democrats giving you? Where's the dividend checks? Where's the any check? What are they doing to put money in anybody's pockets? Like, that's my whole thing. They don't got policies. All of their people are fucking radical and deranged, and all they want to talk about is, gender affirming care and reproductive health and all garbage. All things that 95% of the country don't care about. It doesn't make them money. It doesn't help their families or nothing. They talk about nothing positive. Then on the flip side of things, they don't do anything for nobody. And they're hating on Donald Trump because, people about to get tariff checks, for money from the tariffs during tax season. Now the troops getting some money. He's actually doing things that's benefiting the people. They came up with the new what's that? The American Healthcare Act. Throwing Obamacare to the side and doing something that's actually going to benefit the people. You know what I mean? People can say what they want, but these are all things that's going to help the people. What are Democrats doing? What are they bringing to the table? What's the rebuttal? What's the counter offer to the things that Donald Trump is doing with the Democratic Party? What's the counter offers? You're supposed to be serving the people. So what are you serving? What is on the plate for the American people from Democrats? Nothing. Just a bunch of lunacy, bro. And they all worried about, oh, you seen yesterday, my video was fucked up yesterday. But anyway, Hakeem Jeffries, when he was playing in a clip talking about, Democrats were never focused on exposing the Epstein files, basically, is what he was saying. But that's exactly what they were doing. That's exactly what they were doing. And even right now, all of these pictures and what they say, it was like over 100,000 files was released, and now they're complaining. Oh, it's not enough. It's mostly redacted. They literally let it be known already that they were going to have to redact a lot of it to, because there's people that were probably dealing with Jeffrey Epstein or whatever the case may be that didn't want to be involved with all of this. So to protect victims who never came out, yeah, there's victims that came out, but there's also a lot of them that didn't. So to protect them and to protect, celebrities who may have taken pictures, or we've seen the pictures with Michael Jackson and different people. But bro, they already said that would happen. So it's not like new news that you were going to get these files and they were going to be heavily redacted. But they just wanted, they need anything. It's called desperation news, bro. It's desperate. Reaching for straws. That's all they're doing. That's all they can do. Because they don't have anything. They don't have no policies. They don't have anything. Like anything. And guarantee when these elections come up, they're going to try to prop somebody up and make him look moderate, like they try to do Tim Walz, had him out there with the shotgun and acting like he fucking like is a man. But we know he, probably douches.
You cannot take that from him a day. I mean, every day he's in the White House, he has shown that he loves and cares for our troops. This wasn't about politics or just trying to look good. He does it because he cares about them. And so I want to say thank you, President Trump, for putting our troops first and giving them this warrior
Not
dividend.
a black man
now,
saying something nice about the president.
What I've realized about her is
he's a coon.
What I realized about her.
That's what they're going to say. He's a coon. He's a house nigga. He's a coon. Hey, yo. Let me play the rest of this video. Hold on, I gotta do something.
Is that she has her hatred for President Trump is so intense and so strong that it clouds her view on everything that comes out of the White House. I mean, and this is honestly, it's a good example of what happens when hate enters your heart. I mean, you really just can't see anything good, anything positive, you can't see anything truthful. All she sees, everything to it through this negative lens. And it's really unfortunate. And I'm happy that at least Van Jones was willing to at least say something true there. But, here's the thing. Those of us that do know the truth, we got to say, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for putting our troops first, and let's keep this going.
Yeah, President Trump was just at the dignified transfer for 2 of our service members that lost their lives very recently. We know our troops are serving. Thank you so much all across the globe for serving troops everywhere. Merry Christmas. And they deserve this money and more money. I covered an organization called Miles for Military that help, as you mentioned, these young service members get home for special things, for the holidays, for weddings, to be there for their family members. And this money at the holidays suddenly it's almost a gift of peace for our troops that are under so much stress anyway. Emily, your thoughts?
Yeah, I want to focus for a moment on the leave situation that the Commander-in-Chief extended, and to underscore that it is clear to me that those people on that show have no idea what it is like to be part of a military family or a federal government family. Because if you did, you would not in any way demean what that money means and what the leave means. And it's not about bribing. It's about a commander-in-chief that understands the hard work, the sacrifices, and the situation of the people, the brave men and women that are under his care. So under President Trump's with his first term, he gave 2 days of leave around the Christmas, the federal holiday is Christmas, but he gave Christmas Eve and the day after. And that enables these people to not have to take another day or 2 to be able to have it over the weekend. President Obama never did that. Biden never did that, and President Trump did it this year again. And for a family like mine, for example, where we just had a situation in the family that required taking unexpected leave. So now we have the holiday.
Hey, Like they saying Whoopi is saying that this is bribe money. Like the military gonna get bribed for like $1,800. It's crazy, bro.
And the
Yo,
tickets
they
for
say
airlines are
anything.
skyrocketed high. It is 3 times the
Can't
amount
make it up.
for us to go home to see our family. We're dealing with that, and then leave was stretched thin because of the situation that happened prior. So thank you, President Trump. Thank you. Because that level of grace, the impact it has on every family for that leave cannot be overstated. And that point of view is so damaging. It is so myopic, so ill-informed to put it out there that it is somehow self-serving instead of gracing and blessing the brave men and women that receive it.
She's a jerk. Okay, she's a jerk. Because think about what she's actually saying here. No, but she thinks that the men and women who put on a uniform, like Jeremy, that are willing to put their life on the line, that are willing to die in pursuit of freedom and to pursuit of this country, to protect and to serve, that a $1,776 bonus, that they could be bought with that, that they could be bribed. People who are willing to put their lives on the line for this country, that they can be bought. Think about how demeaning that is. To me, that is such a slap in the face to the men and women in uniform, that she thinks that they're that cheap, that they could be bought, these people who are doing a service to their country. And then, mind you, look at what's going on the left. You have the seditious six out there putting up a video being like, hey, you don't have to follow illegal orders, wink, wink, nod, nod. You can break the chain of command, which is really what they're saying there. Or you go back to September 2022 under Joe Biden, flanked by the military behind him in Philadelphia in a primetime address, labeling tens of millions of people who voted for President Trump that they're extremists, the MAGA extremists, that they're a threat to democracy, right? That is what's problematic, what he did or what the seditious six did. So to me, I think Whoopi Goldberg is really showing herself here about what how little she thinks of her men and women in uniform, and also underscores that we're not doing enough for the people who serve our country. So she's a jerk.
Yeah, she's just a weirdo, bro. That's like a fact. And Whoopi Goldberg and The View. The whole, some of them be on there, they be trying to be a little moderated or in the middle. Hey, but listen, yo, Sonny Holston, Whoopi Goldberg, and Anna, what's her name? Navarro, whatever the fuck her name is. They all men hating women who don't. They're not. Trump already said it. They're not going to ever give him his props for anything he does. Period. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what he does. So that's why he just got to keep doing what he's doing, which is keeping it pushing and trying to make the country better. And I rather what Trump is doing anytime over what Biden was doing or even what Obama was doing. Because listen, Obama got in because he ran on, being the hope for the people. You know what I mean? What was his slogan? Yes, we can, and all of this stuff. Like he ran on, he did what every black pastor does in the church. And it's no disrespect to, because I know some good pastors, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, it's a lot of them out here, sleaze bags who just, just preaching hope to people for some money. Obama was preaching hope to get into the White House, to do the bidding of the elite. People can say all day, oh, Donald Trump is a part of the elite. Maybe so. But the thing is, I see him doing things that's like contrary to, for instance, with the whole Obamacare subsidies. They go directly to insurance companies. Trump is saying, no, we don't need to give more money to these insurance companies. They didn't already robbed us. He said this. He exposed all of this. You know what I mean? So that's why I be saying, like, I can't get with the, Trump is for the billionaires and he's trying to look out for. Listen, in business, of course, if he wants businesses to come to America, if he wants to industrialize America and bring manufacturing back to America, of course he's going to have to look out for the millionaires and the billionaires who bring the business here. Duh, stupid. But lowering taxes, that's for all of us. We all benefit from that. You know what I mean? The no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. These are things that are strictly for the middle class, people that is out here working. You know what I'm saying? To put money in your pocket. So, of course, he's going to try to look out for everybody. Period. And then on top of that, trying to save money by getting rid of departments, like the USAID and the Department of Education. These things do need to go and more. You know what I mean? They need to consolidate a lot of these departments because it's just a lot of fluff in there. You know what I mean? But let's get into this next story with Brian Maxwell about this crooked-ass judge who got what she deserved. Fuck her.
Credit when credit is due, because for months I've been listening to people say, oh, when is the Trump administration going to hold somebody accountable? When is somebody going to jail? When is somebody? Well, guess what? You know, they attempted to put James Comey and Letitia James before federal grand juries in deep blue Virginia. And you know how that's worked out. But finally, one of the perpetrators that was involved in trying to help illegal immigrants escape and evade ICE has been held accountable and has been found guilty. Now, the question is, were they found guilty of a misdemeanor, which has much lesser repercussions, or of a felony? Now, in this video, you're going to find out. Now, as you see right here, Milwaukee County judge found guilty of obstructing federal immigration agents in courthouse incident. And just to take you back and remind you exactly what it was that happened, let me show you this clip. And then I'm going to let you see what has happened for all of those naysayers. So not only has the CPI report for the economy come out, and the economy is growing way better than what anybody thought. Matter of fact, all the liberals, left-wing media, lamestream media, Democrat politicians were saying, oh, it's going to be over 3%. It's going to be over 3%. The economy is tanking. It came in at 2.7%, but that's a whole nother video. So I am amped up. And now we got our very first guilty conviction. But here's what she did to kick this whole thing off. Check this out.
For the first time, we're seeing Judge Hannah Dugan outside her courtroom April 18th wearing her black robes, appearing to confront several federal agents there to arrest Eduardo Flores Ruiz, a Milwaukee man and Mexican national charged locally with 3 counts of domestic battery. This video, released by Milwaukee County through an open records request, is part of the evidence in the case against Judge Dugan, who's charged with obstructing a federal investigation, concealing Flores Ruiz, allowing him to leave her courtroom by a different door after sending the agents to speak to the chief judge. Flores Ruiz, dressed in black with his attorney, is seen in several of the videos leaving by that other door. One prosecutors say was used by jurors and not open to the public. As he leaves, though, he is seen in the hallway, followed by another agent. As Flores Ruiz...
Look, agent on his ass. They thought they outsmarted him. He said, yo, stay behind. They trying to run some game. He was on his ass. Look,
into the elevator to leave, the agent slips in as well. According to the criminal complaint against Dugan, that agent followed them down. The agent seen here following out of the building downstairs, and once backup arrived, they tried to arrest Flores Ruiz, who another video shows ran north in front of the courthouse for nearly a block before agents caught up with him and arrested him. Federal agents arrested Dugan herself a week later.
Yo, what's up with what's up with these people, man? Why they ain't try to get no black people outside of the courtroom, huh? Huh? Bro, this whole immigration thing is crazy, bro. It's getting out of hand, man. Listen, bro. It's unsustainable. All of these illegal immigrants cannot be in their country, dog. They taking your job. Don't you do construction? And they racist about it, too. They like, who gonna pick your grapes? Huh? Who gonna pick your grapes? We don't do them jobs. Mexicans do. They think all illegal immigrants are Mexicans or something. Like, you can't make this shit up, bro. They be racist as hell, bro.
Flores Ruiz's domestic violence case is moving through the Milwaukee County Court. He is, however, in federal custody on his immigration arrest. The FBI arrested Judge Dugan at the county courthouse 1 week later on April 25th. She pleaded not guilty in a federal court last week. Judge Dugan, your response. That's Dugan exiting the federal courthouse after an arraignment last week. Her legal team filed a motion to dismiss the case.
Yo, just think, she just literally fucked up her whole career. She was a judge. She was a judge. You know she was getting some type of kickbacks. I don't know what type of judge she was. Obviously, you know, I don't know what type of judge she was, but it doesn't even matter. But she was a judge. She was getting good money. You gave all that up for an illegal immigrant, bro. Just think about how radical these people have gotten in America, bro. They have gotten out of control. You risk your freedom. You risk your livelihood, the way you pay your bills. You risk all of that. You put it all on the line for an illegal immigrant that you didn't know from a can of paint because you wanted to feel like you were fighting Trump and his administration. Yo, you can't make this up, man.
Unconstitutional, saying that she is entitled to judicial immunity. A judge set a tentative trial date for July 21st.
Yeah, done.
So she thought that she got judicial immunity, which means that these judges really thought they can do whatever they want to do. They can break federal law and they're not going to be held accountable. That's exactly why they do it. Now, here's where it got really bad for her in the trial. Check out what happened because her co-workers started testifying against her. So this wasn't one of these things where people could say, oh, it was the Trump administration and they just came down on her and railroaded her. No, check out what happened that many believe is what really steered the case in the direction it went of the guilty verdict. The question is it guilty of misdemeanor or felony, which we're going to find out. But check this out.
A judge in Milwaukee is on trial for allegedly helping an illegal immigrant evade an ICE arrest in the courthouse. Today, the prosecution rested its case. Now, this is day 3, and they've called 19 witnesses so far. Some are very key people. I mean, people like her own court reporter, her court clerk, and another judge that is in the room next door that supposedly helped her do this. The defense is basically saying that Hannah Dugan didn't know what the policies were exactly on whether ICE agents could just arrest someone in a public hallway. Several of the witnesses described that this morning, that day, April 18th, was stressful and chaotic with this particular situation. They described everything that Dugan did that day with this defendant that was going to be brought up in court. Their case, this is Eduardo Flores Ruiz, was out of the ordinary. They say that using that private door to motion for this illegal immigrant and his attorney to go out of was definitely not normal for the courthouse. The agents say that Dugan confronted them, and there was video of this too. They say that she was angry, that she was stern and confrontational. They say she asked them if they had a warrant. They said yes, an administrative warrant, which is a particular type. She said it needs to be judicial and basically didn't even ask to see it. The court reporter today admitted that she wanted to help Ruiz and his attorney go out the, quote, right door, which she described as the one that wasn't going toward the ICE people. Prosecution also brought up the reason that he was in court in the first place, which was battery, and his victims were in court that day waiting to see all this play out outside of the whole ICE operation.
Can you imagine how that would feel as a woman or anybody there in the court? Somebody has brutalized you. You're waiting to see them get justice, and the judge who's overseeing the case is actually helping the defendant escape?
That's crazy.
What type of confidence would you have?
So basically, this dude was a fucking crook. He was in there on some type of assault charges, about to go in front of the judge. And she in there, she put everything on the line for an abuser. Goofy, bro. These people are crazy, bro. Like, what? Oh my God. And then she out there kicking like you fucking, like you an activist. What are you here for? Do you have a warrant, sir? Bitch, go sit your fat ass back in that chair. She went there and tried to help this nigga escape, bro. Yo, you can't make it up, man. These people are becoming radical in America, bro. The propaganda is real. Remember, Obama repealed the Smith-Mont Act, which basically says that we can't commit propaganda here in America. He said, nah, yes, we can. So now, with the fake news, all of this reporting that's going on, and this is why Ground News, not a sponsor, but they're a good source because they give you both sides and the middle of news, what the left side is reporting, what the right side and all that stuff. They're good, but when most of these news stations, they're in the Democrat pocket, reporting a bunch of fake news. Donald Trump, yo, changed politics forever, bro. And I'm telling you, just think about it. It's only been a year. It's only been 1 year. We still got 3 more left. So yo, bro, if he did this much in a year, just imagine what he's going to do in his next three more years, bro. I'm telling you, man, things is going to look good. And that's all I care about. Yeah, that's all I care about. I mean, I need some more money in my pocket. I need to be able to, you know what I mean, get this business popping and everything. I don't care about all that extra shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care how he does it. Nothing. As long as it's within my values, that's all I care about. Now, the shit going on with Israel, I don't like, and we need to do something about it. But I just don't see it happening because for whatever reason, these people got a fucking hold on American politics, bro. And it's out of control. But that's another story for another day, and we'll get into that. But let's finish up with a little bit more of this, and then we're going to end the
have
show.
in that system. It showed these Democrats and these lamestream judge activists are more focused on helping criminals, illegal immigrants, than they are American citizens.
Not black folks. They
A
ain't
lot of the
helping them.
defense's discussion and cross-examination has been on the exact policy that was put in place. The chief judge of the courthouse had a draft policy. He really didn't want ICE to be in the courthouse at all. He says that it erodes trust for people that are coming to the courthouse, but he didn't actually say that ICE could not arrest people in public hallways. Eduardo Flores Ruiz's attorney said she knew that ICE was in the building. She didn't know her own client had a warrant out for his arrest, but was unsure of all this and was basically following Dugan's directions to go down this hall. There's been a lot thrown at us. Video from the hallways where Dugan and the agents were and different people walking around. There was pictures and a video walkthrough of Dugan's courtroom and showing exactly where that door, that restricted door is. And probably most prominent is the audio recordings of Dugan talking to her attorney, her court clerk, her court reporter, and more throughout this process. We still don't know if Judge Hannah Dugan will testify herself in this, but tomorrow the defense says they have 4 witnesses to bring up, and then we expect closing arguments then. A judge in Milwaukee is on trial for...
If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, because I'll never ask you for a Cash App or a Super Chat, but you hit. They did that, and as you hear, her own co-workers were testifying against her. And so now we get a chance to see live and direct just how focused these Democrats are on helping illegal immigrants, just how far these folks are actually willing to go. And this sucks to find out that we have people in our judicial system that are more focused on helping illegal immigrants than they are American citizens. But here it is. Check out what actual verdict was and what she's facing. Check this out.
12 News with breaking news.
Good evening. We are interrupting regular programming with breaking news in the trial of Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan.
And that verdict coming in just moments ago, it is a split verdict, not guilty on one count and guilty on the other. The not guilty is for count 1, which was the misdemeanor of concealing a person to prevent their arrest. The guilty verdict from this jury was on the felony count of obstructing. These 2 charges came after this incident back in April where Dugan was accused of helping Eduardo Flores Ruiz.
So she got a felony. She's done. You're done. No longer a judge. You're a civilian now.
Undocumented immigrant avoid ICE officials at the courthouse in April.
Now we know that.
And real quick, this sets precedent. So now all these other activist judges out there that want to help illegal immigrants, want to do shady stuff, this sets a precedent showing, oh, yes, you will be tried, you will be convicted. And now we got to just see what type of time she's looking at. I'll let them break down what she's looking at.
That the jurors have been deliberating for a little over 6 hours. We've been catching in every single update that our reporters inside the courtroom have been giving us, and we have been covering this case from last week when we first started the trial up until now, which is now 8 months of coverage with this entire case, and we have a lot to get to, including live team coverage.
And we start with Blake Easton, who is outside the federal courthouse for us right now.
Urgent message for seniors brought to you on behalf of the sponsor of this video and partner of the channel, Chapter. Seniors, on January the 1st.
They've been deliberating for about 6 hours at this point in time. And around the 6 o'clock hour, that is when we learned that the judge was buying the jury pizza. That's signaling that they could very well go the distance tonight. And obviously, with the breaking news, they have. A verdict has been reached. At this point, our crews are gathering to bring you full coverage. But before we get to all of that, I kind of want to walk you through the day of events leading up to this, because it cannot be emphasized enough. The jury has been extremely busy today. They have heard a lot and they have seen a lot. Getting here early this morning, defense took the stand and they didn't take much time at all. In fact, they only called 4 witnesses to testify: 2 Milwaukee County judges, a public state defender, and former mayor of Milwaukee, Tom Barrett. The defense rested their case without ever calling Dugan to testify. After that, it then presented time for closing arguments. Prosecution went force, saying a courtroom should be a place of neutrality. When a judge uses her position, her robe, her courtroom to evade the law, that is when it undermines the entire justice system. Then it was turned for the defense to go, saying that they're trying to make an example out of Hannah Dugan, saying that they have a different version of the facts than the prosecution. And now, because this is the federal government's case, they were then allowed to give a rebuttal. And that was before the judge was then giving them jury instructions before they could begin that jury deliberation process. And as we mentioned, look, it's been about 6 hours, fairly quiet outside of the federal courthouse throughout the 6 hours of the jury deliberations. There's been about 3 moments in time where the jury has had several questions for the judge. Now, the first question revolved around
anyway, man, they going into a lot of shit that I don't really care about, to be honest. She got locked up. Great for her. I really appreciate it. You know, shout out to Trump, man, exposing all of these frauds out here, bro. Seriously, man. And his administration. because he picked the right people that's actually going to do the job. But there's a people evading, like Letitia James and James Comey. They trying to evade, which they kind of did already, their charges using this technicality shit. But, a lot of people need to be held accountable for what's going on, man, because it's a lot of fraud. It's a lot of waste, a lot of things just going on, bro, in American politics, and things need to just need to get better, man. Like, because we're supposed, like, listen, if we're the greatest country, why are we in debt? If we're the greatest country, why do we have the most homelessness, right? If we're the greatest country, why do we have all of this stuff going on in America? You know what I mean? And it's because it's all these different ideologies. I'm just being honest. That's what it is. And more importantly, it's a lot of stuff being pushed. It's a lot of, things that, like I said, bro, before, like, most of these conversations we didn't have 10 years, 15 years ago. We just wasn't having these type of conversations. And, like, now you see what's going on, and you like, yo, this is a psyop, bro. This is a psyop. This is an obvious psyop, bro. These people are playing. They are playing on people, bro, for real. Because it's no way that people actually genuinely think that, you could change science and, you could just make anything what you wanted. Like, come on, bro. It's a lot going on. Hopefully it gets better. I think it is. I see the stuff changing in real time. Prices are going down slowly but surely, and things are going in the right direction. And that's all I truly care about, man. Because I just want I want my kids to grow up and, in a country that is aligned with standards and morals. What you do in your personal time, in your personal home, that's your business. But when we're out in a public space, when we're out in school, when kids are going to school, and when you're out in the world, man, we just shouldn't have to deal with a lot of things that they're forcing on us. You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem for me, and that's the thing that we need to change the most. And everything else will pretty much follow suit. But you got to take money out of politics, man. I don't think they're going to do it because, who the fuck is going to take hundreds of millions and billions of dollars out of the fucking government? They're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, people are getting paid and living in the shade, I just think that you need to take the, politicians being able to day trade and all that stuff, the trade period, got to take that out of there. I think it needs to be stipulations on even how to become a politician. I think you gotta have some like certain types of pedigree, bro. Like, you can't be like a immigrant who comes over in a country and becomes a citizen at 14, 15, and then become a fucking politician, bro. Because it's no way to truly vet that or be like, yo, because people, listen, bro, people lie, they do what they gotta do to get their agenda across. You know what I'm saying? So you can't trust these people. They have alliances to other countries and all that stuff. All that dual citizenship needs to go, needs to get out of the government. And that's the reason why a lot of stuff is so corrupt, because you got these agendas from these foreign countries who don't care about America. Why would they? It's a foreign country. You know what I'm saying? So their whole goal is to cause all of this chaos and stuff that's going on within the government. So until we change that and take it out, we're going to continue to keep dealing with most of the bullshit that's going on. But hey, man, you can't change it all in a year or even 2. It's going to take some time, but we'll see what happens. But, that's the show for today, man. If you fuck with the show, make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment down below. Also, hit that subscribe button for your boy. Matter of fact, just go ahead and hit it now. Also, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy go live. Until next time, this your boy SL550. This is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. I'm out. Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.